You guys ever met anybody that can sell 220 homes as a solo agent? Put up your hand if you ever met someone like that. Nobody. Sell 220 homes as a solo agent. No, right? I don't think you'd want to anyways. It's a lot of freaking work. Okay? But you are about to meet this rock star from Ottawa, Canada. He's been in real estate 10 years, and he inspires me every single day, and he tells me I'm complacent. John, you're lazy. He teaches me every single day to go 150%. Who thinks you need 150% in this market? Say yes. Who wants to learn how to do 150%? Say yes. Let's welcome Mr. Agent DK.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. John Son. Is everybody excited? I'm excited. You know, somebody came up to me in the hallway and said, Agent DK. I said, yeah. They're like, you're white. I go, what? They go, we thought because you're John's friend, Asian DK. No, Agent DK. Come on, man. Come on. All right. I'm very excited. It's true. I think funny. This is my brain. All right, guys. So we're going to, my favorite movie is Back to the Future. We're going to go back and forth through time. I have 20 minutes. Very hard for a Greek. So I'm going to do my best. Here we go. What I'm going to talk about is how 100% effort is not enough, beyond motivation. How to create quantum leaps in real estate and in your life. This is something that I did, and I'm going to tell you how. I need to give you perspective, all right? A little bit about me. Actually, 12 years in real estate, John. 12 years full-time. That's okay. I have personally completed 1,500 transactions, averaging between, thank you, averaging between 115 and 130 sales per year. I have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Thank you. And thank you. My best year was 2.5 million GCI to me, not to team. And I have no debt. I own several properties, cars, toys, watches, zero debt. So it is possible. And I experienced quantum leaps, okay, in my business and in my life, but not all at the same time. Everyone has a story, and we've heard some amazing stories. This is mine. This is the house that I grew up at, 3180 Bannon Way. It was about 1,100 square feet. It was myself, my sister, who were very close. She's 2 years older than me. When we were younger, everybody thought we were twins. We looked so much alike. My mom and my dad. My mom was a waitress. My dad was a cook. Immigrant parents from Greece. Every day my parents weren't fighting it was random. Let's say every day they were fighting. It was not a happy home. That was my normal. And they never had money because my dad also had a bad gambling problem. So every day there was screaming and fighting, and normally you'd wake up in the middle of the night to screaming and fighting, usually over money. The window above the front door was my room. Actually, it was my uncle's room because he moved from Greece to stay with us to make money to send back to Greece. So I shared the room next to that with my sister for 8 years. All of us living with one bathroom in 1,100 square feet. Very interesting. So I didn't actually have my room for a while. My parents bought that house in the late 70s for about $50,000. So how could it get any worse? It did get worse. When I was 15 years old, my sister was 2 years older. She had what's called a brain aneurysm, and she almost died. She was in a coma for a year. And we didn't know if she was going to make it. They came to my house. They measured for ramps and wheelchairs and all grab handles and stuff. And, every day I had to be strong because my mom was losing one kid, and I didn't want her to see me sad. So I would, pretend to be strong and then, buckle at home when I was alone. And it was tough. It was very tough. But the problem is my dad kept gambling. So, my mom was waitressing, no money there because she stopped working. She was with my sister every single day. I'm 15 years old. Now I'm thinking, I have to step up. I have to take care of my family. And, this picture represents a lot for me. So this was the beginning. And this was me parking my $300,000 Lamborghini in front of that house 20 years later. Thank you. Now, it's not about the car. It's about who you become on the path to achieving that car. Car is fine. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool, but on the way to that car, I bought my mom a house. I take care of my dad. You know, they got separated when I was 20. So I put an outline to show you how small the house was, but they sold that house for $120K. The car was $300. You know, I never imagined in a million years that would be me because proximity is power and I didn't have any exposure to that. All I knew was money was scarce, but I never let it get to me. I always said, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be that one to change the trajectory of my family. I'm going to do it. I always stayed positive. And, you know, again, along the way, I made a lot of money and I got the nice stuff. Now, this is painful to watch. Sorry for the people in front of the screens. Shit. So that's my son Costa. That was me at 30 years old. So now I'm 44, but that was me at 30, just starting into real estate. I was 2 years in, made about 50 grand. And I thought at that time I was giving it 100% effort. I thought. Clearly I wasn't in some aspects. So, you know what's cool about this picture? Look at Costa's face. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to be with dad, right? That's what's so cool about kids. Now this one's even worse. My apologies to everybody in the front of the screens. There you go. There's the money shot. That's me 10 years after that last picture, right? 40 years old, and I snapped. So that's actually the year where I made $2.5 million. There's a lot of metrics to success, guys. And look at my face. Do I look happy? So I told myself, what if I put everything that I put into my business into me for the first time in my life? I already told you where I came from. I made a lot of sacrifices for my family. I stopped going to university so I could be a salesperson because I had a natural gift of the gab. And I developed that over time. But I didn't really take a lot of good care of myself. So I sought out, it's not, you know, it's who, not how. I sought out the best trainer I could find, and I said, we need to do something here because this guy cannot duplicate what he did last year. He's going to burn out. He's clearly on his way. I mean, that belt did not have any more notches. Not great, John, not great. John knew me. You were still my friend at this time, so I appreciate you. Maybe it was a charity thing. I don't know. Felt sorry for me or something. So, there you go. That's 3 years later. I sought out, thank you. I sought out the best trainer I could find, and within 90 days, I lost 40 pounds. And then I got too skinny, and then I put on a lot of muscle. And here we are 3 years later, and still have that body. And I'm very proud of myself because I have become, you know, I feel like the best version of me. At least I'm on that path, and I can take much more now. My stress levels are better. My relationships are better. And I was realizing that it was I'm just trying to delay how long I'm on this slide. Can you tell? Just going to keep talking. Got 12 minutes left. Soak it up. Soak it up. All right, we'll get moving. You guys get it though, right? So, do you give 100% effort in your business? Raise your hand if you think you give it 100% every day. Okay, one person full of shit. Two, perfect. Here's the deal. Even when you think you're giving it 100%, you're not. Everybody always has more in them. Your intentions might be that you're giving it your all, but you always have more. And 100%, even if you did, is not enough to create quantum leaps because there's probably something you don't know, right? It's what you don't know is what's going to get you there. So here's the limits of 100%. Number one, skill gap. Superior skills of competitors can diminish the impact of your 100%. For example, par exemple, as they say in French, Aaron Novello, John Sy at their peak, no longer in production. Thousands of sales, highly skilled, highly trained. Raise your hand if you're new. I saw you put up your hand. Okay. So what are the chances of you beating these guys on a listing appointment with a 91% closing ratio? You're new. Now, could you? Of course. Of course you can. But likely? Probably not. You see why 100% is not enough? There's other reasons. So number two, energy and enthusiasm. Higher energy and enthusiasm often outperform mere effort. Who here knows Brent Gove? The man has more enthusiasm on his pinky finger than most people have in their body. If that man went on a listing presentation, his enthusiasm is electric. Even if you fake it, it's going to be hard to match that level of enthusiasm. And he has skill. You see why it's tough? And number 3, external factors. Limited resources can undermine even the best efforts. Someone like Brent, John, Aaron have better technology, better resources because they've been doing it longer. They have more experience. So, I know what you're thinking. DK, this is really motivating. There's no hope. But there is. There is. There's something that I like to call the comfort zone trap. High achievers often become comfortable reducing their drive. They've climbed that mountain. They're enjoying the view, and rightfully so. They've worked their butts off, right? So they're driving their nice car. They're on their boat. They're traveling. They got a permatan. They're always tanned, right? But I'll tell you something. The hungry wolf always runs faster. You guys get that? Now, there's some people in this room that have achieved a lot of great things, and they're still pushing. But I'm telling you from experience, I've seen it. That's one way to win. But here's some strategies. I'm going to talk about real estate because I think we're mostly real estate agents, no? Intensify lead follow-up. Multiply your efforts by 10x. Now, here's the beauty of this. It only takes 3 to 5 years to create a business that will sustain you a lifetime if you put everything you have into it. So I'm not talking the rest of your life here. But if you can do this and build systems out, you're set for life. Be early, be prepared and thorough, know your numbers, and don't just bring your comps. Visit them in person. Watch. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I brought some comparables with me tonight so we can come up with an evaluation, a price to set on your home in order to cause it to sell. Most real estate agents, yes? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I have brought with me some comparables in order to assess what price we should set on your home in order to get it to sell. However, I've taken it a step further, and as part of my customer service, I went and visited those comparables, and I was in these homes. And I can tell you, Jennifer and Keith, 100%, your home is superior to home A, B, and C. However, your home is inferior to home D because I've been in that home and I've seen it. This one smells. This one backs on the power lines. This. Now, by the way, Jen and Keith, when you hire me to list your home and the other agents use the other homes here to try and drive your price down, I have that confidence to defend your hard-earned equity because I've been inside of all those homes. Did the other agents go in those homes? Who's going to get the listing? Why? I'm doing more than 100%. You guys get it? That's what I mean. I'm trying to give you guys examples here. Boost your enthusiasm. It's contagious. When you go on a listing appointment, guys, when I get there, what was that? There you go. Vancouver. The stage is not meant for Greek people. You need to boost your enthusiasm, guys. Get excited. Do you know often when I go on a listing appointment, I don't sit? And they're like, please sit. A side story. My dad used to have a restaurant, and he'd say to the customers, please sit, shit here. Please sit. Shit, sir, shit down. Please, sir, shit and eat. No wonder the restaurant's closed. He never made any money, you know. Shit here, shit there. So I don't sit. And they say, wouldn't you like to sit? I said, no, I'm so excited. And I want to get the hell out in 20 minutes, right? That's the real reason. I'm so excited to be here. I can't possibly sit that. Did the other agent sit down? You're kidding. Wow, I ain't sitting. I'm too excited. Elevate your professional attire to command respect and exude competence and confidence. Often, they expect you to show up. Now, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to agree. I'm telling you what worked for me. But I would show up and they'd say, are you going to a wedding? I'd say, no, I'm going to work. I always thought I need to dress like the person I need to become, not the person that I am. And I wanted to become a millionaire, so I wanted to look like $1 million. You want to look like $1 million? Okay. Well, do it. Get your power suit. This is my power suit. When I put it on, I feel like nothing can stop me. I walk differently. I talk differently. I asked the music guy to play Superman music when I walked up here. Didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Superman. Nothing can stop me. This is my suit of armor. Outwork everyone else. I'm sorry, Aaron Novello. Opposite of what you said. Outwork everyone else. That's what I did. When I first started, I was doing open houses Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 1, 2 to 4. Every Saturday, every Sunday. You know why? Because my sister came out of her coma, and she wanted to get married, and there was no money to pay for the wedding. In our culture, you know, you split it. So I worked my ass off to help pay for my sister's wedding. I wanted to buy my mom a house. I wanted her to have a roof over her head and never worry about that again. I wanted to pay for my dad's nursing home. I wanted to do these things. So I didn't come from a background where there was any plan B or option, so I just knew hard work. I came from hardworking immigrant parents. Even though my dad was a gambler, he worked his ass off. He never missed a day of work. That's what's a shame. You guys get this? Outwork everyone else. Redefining success. So how to get quantum leaps? 100% effort, guys, is expected results. Exceeding expectations leads to extraordinary results. What do I mean by that? A few years ago, I said to my coach, I need to turn one deal into 3. How do I do that? She said, do more. The life that you're living is in direct proportion to the service you're offering. If you don't like the number in your bank account, elevate your service, you will make more money. I'm telling you that right now. Thank you. So watch. You take a listing, you sell it, transaction closed, you've met expectations. Exceeding expectations, some of these are obvious. Selling a home over asking price, obvious. Selling a home faster than expected, obvious, right? In a good market. Client asks you for photos of their home. You don't just email them, you put them in a digital photo book, you drop them off. You do it, you put it in a frame. Client calls you to complain there's garbage left on their home on closing. You pick it up, you hire a company to take care of it. You're showing homes to an out-of-town buyer. You bring snacks, you bring the school districts, you bring, right? You do extra. This is not required. You're doing extra. Does that make sense? You bring clients a gift for no reason or client appreciation parties. You check in often with clients multiple ways, email, phone, and text. You have to because, as Crystal knows, people don't read their emails. Sorry, Crystal. Right? You need to check in with people multiple ways. After you tell your clients what will happen, you remind them. Guys, are they under stress when they're selling their home? Yes or yes? We got to remind them. They're under a lot of stress. We do this every day. Right? They do this once or twice in a lifetime. And this is the most important thing I've set up here in my 20 minutes here. Communication. Contact them before they contact you. Every single time a client calls you, you are not meeting their expectations. Does that make sense? Have you ever said to yourself, shit, John's going to call me. I just know it. There was feedback and he saw what it said and they're comparing it against another home. The phone rings. You should have called him first. Every single time a client is calling you, you're dropping the ball. You are not exceeding expectations. You need to over-communicate with your clients. The very definition of customer service in our industry is communication. It is not complicated. They want to hear from you. They're nervous, they're stressed. Does that make sense, guys? This is the most important thing I can teach you. When I got into real estate 12 years ago, I started asking around, what's the biggest problem in this industry? I never heard from my agent. So I'm like, I'm going to over-communicate. I'm just going to do it like, so watch, you're at a restaurant. Waiter comes over. Would you like more water? Sure. Meeting expectations. You're at a nice restaurant. Waiter comes over, refills my water and walks away, exceeding my expectations. You guys get it, how this works? When I was a kid, in that little house, my mom would always cook food for 50 people. I'd say, Ma, why? There's 4 of us. This is when I was a kid. And she'd always say, you never know who's going to come over. And you never want them to feel embarrassed that we're eating and we don't have enough food for them. Always do more, she'd say. Always have more. And if not, we have leftovers. So you guys get it? So it was just ingrained in my mind. Always do more. That's how you create quantum leaps in business and in life. Sit down with your clients. Ascertain what it is they need. Do it, but do it more at a higher level. Communicate more. You guys get that? That's why we have 350 Google reviews, and we just started like a couple years ago, and we don't ask them. They just do it. 5-star, all of them. And I go on listing appointments often, and people say, wow, are these real? Yeah, they're real. It's pretty cool. That's the key to success. Help others get what they want, and you will get what you want. Guys, I'm incredibly grateful to all of you. And that's my contact information. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to assist. Thank you for your time.